Podas, Kerry, hello to you.
Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are around the world, watching the beautiful Sydney Manly Beach here with the Men's World Tour event, semi-final number 2, Canada and the US. What a battle this is going to be, and it is hot out there. Let me tell you, we've just finished semi-final number 1. We already have one finalist, and now we're looking for the second.
Absolutely. You can see, hopefully on your screens, they've watered the pitch, as we say here in Australia. They've hosed down the sand, and that's something they so rarely do here at Manly, but it is an indication of just how difficult the conditions have become. The breeze is not that strong. It's not really getting into the court much anyway, and the beautiful sand here at Manly Beach. Heating up a treat on screen, the number 2 for the US is Miles Evans. His partner William Kalinsky. The Canadians nearest the screen, Ben Saxton, the Olympian from Rio last year, and Grant O'Gorman, his partner now. So the team from Canada left the screen, probably the more experienced, or definitely the more experienced through Ben Saxton, who's played some wonderful defence there. So let's see if Canada can get a block. It's going to be an off-speed or just drag down on the net. So Kalinsky and Evans, probably not a great start. 3-1. Classic matchup, Canada versus the US. It's kind of like Australia v New Zealand here for the locals. So unsure who the locals will get behind in this match, Kerry.
Yeah, and it's certainly these guys have picked off a lot of Australians to make it into the semi-final actually as well. So there's been plenty of Australian teams in this tournament, obviously being held down here in Australia, and both these teams have picked off our second and third best teams of Schubert, Durant, Ferguson and Guerra. So those guys are watching this, wishing they were in this semi-final, but not to be. Australia-Canada, and there's plenty of Canada-US, I should say, and there's plenty of Americans and Canadians in the crowd cheering both these teams on.
Yeah, a real multicultural environment here at Manly. We've got people from all sorts of nations that come and visit the state for a while, but there's a nice play. The team from the US, Kalinsky and Evans. Kalinsky wearing the number 1, Evans the number 2. You can see good hustle. They're not the most physically imposing individuals. I mean that very respectfully, but their ball control and their court craft really good. So this is William Kalinsky going back with a 2-3 scoreboard here at Manly Beach. Men's semi-final number 2, as Kerry Podas has said, at stake for the winner, a spot in the gold medal match.
That was a good play. That was a good play by Saxon to the left of the court. Didn't hit it at full strength. He knows he's got a lot of game to play, but he just put it nice and close to the sideline. So Canada with a mini lead here.
Good. Let's go, man. Here. One.
The block, though, from Kalinsky was pretty good. Just timing. It was all about timing. He didn't get a mile above the net, but was in the right place at exactly the right time, pushing the ball back into court. So not a lot between the teams. This will look great on the replay. See, the roll shot was well handled. Ben Saxton had a chance, just perfectly shut down by the USA blocker. So it will be Miles Evans on this occasion going back to the service line. They're going pretty hard at the Olympic veteran. A nice ball bounced down by Grant O'Gorman. 5-3 the scoreboard. First set action. Good crowd in, people coming and going. We've just seen the other semi-final, France v Australia. Now we've got Canada in there, red and white, and USA in the blue. So the crowd getting their money's worth here today. Wonderful scenes at Manly Beach, the FIVB World Tour of Beach Volleyball. USA making the Canadians work in defence, but getting it done ultimately. So 4-5.
Great effort from both Canadians in defence that time. Saxon had to lay out to get this layout, and O'Gorman's just about to get there, but looks pained.
That's the feature of the Canadian game, though. They are an absolute desperate bunch of defenders, so you can't relax and think you've got the point one. Just a bit of a reminder from the referee, I think, is concerned maybe about the amount of time being taken between sets. The USA, you can see, not happy with a little bit of possible perceived time wasting, we'll say, and that's the response from Canada. So this is an interesting story within a story. It is a semi-final on the World Tour of Beach Volleyball, but also USA beat Canada, two nations that enjoy playing each other on the sporting field. So I'm sure there's some some healthy rivalries at play on court. 6-4 Canada.
Easily taken by Ben Saxton. Another great time block. First over.
Well read, though. The US going to make them pay, and they absolutely do make them pay. Miles Evans reacted late, but reacted well to that second ball set. You don't see that often, the set used as an attacking weapon. It is a bit unorthodox, but the US, to their credit, are absolutely awake to it. Miles Evans made them pay, so Ben Saxton will have to go back to a more orthodox method of attack. He does, crushing it through the middle. Nice pass, bang on the money, and then through the middle, deep middle. It's not a bad place to hit the spike if you're not sure where the opposition is. That's a safe-ish place to spike the ball. It's going to be Grant O'Gorman teeing off on a jump serve. Can't quite get there. So 6-7 USA, Canada.
Good to see O'Gorman really going for his serve, because we saw in the last game Chris McHugh has a big gun serve, didn't use it as much, possibly because it was hot out there, but O'Gorman's going, it doesn't matter, I'm going to jump serve because I still have to run to the net. So he is the main blocker, but he's prepared to work really hard, perhaps to get that lead, and then he can hold them off. So push in the beginning, hold them off in the middle, and then push again at the end, as my coach used to tell me.
Absolutely, who is now over there in Canada. Oh, no, I thought he'd snuck the ball over, but yeah, 4 contacts called by the referee.
Saxton not happy with something. Oh, no, he's asking,
sunglasses, yeah.
He's asking for a bit of a wipe. So the referees...
3,
yeah.
4. Yeah, it was a perfect put away. Unfortunately, he had overused their touches, so there you go. Good to see the first referee can count to 4. So 8-6 Canada on the side change. Just a really low tempo game at the moment. No one getting too extravagant, getting too excited. These two teams can grind it out for hours, I'm sure. So no one burning too much petrol yet.
Yes,
nice
smart play off the top of the block again. These guys, you'll see they do that a lot, and it's not by accident that the ball's hitting the top of the block and bouncing up over the defender deep out of court. They actually make that play on purpose. Sometimes if the ball is nice and tight, they can use the blocker.
Saxton again faced by that same block in the same position. You heard the call, cut the ball, cut it cross court. So his partner in Grant O'Gorman helping him out, not just with the set, but with the advice as to where to put the ball when he played it. So it was a nice set of listening skills there by the Canadian. It is the number 2 for Canada, Grant O'Gorman, going back to serve. He's at the northern end of the beach. They lead 9-7 here in the first set. US trailing by 2. We'll get another play at this ball. Miles Evans' second attempt, really good, reaching high, putting it down the line for 8-9. So no one athlete really grabbing this game yet, Kez, by the scruff of the neck.
No, everybody's being worked, everyone's working hard, the blockers are doing a great job touching a lot of balls. But that's such a great hit for a right-sider to hit down the line through between the antenna and the blocker. Not much space left, but he makes it look easy.
Oh, and a net touch call. So there you go. That'll even us up, or a double hit, I beg your pardon, 9 all. So the US nice and patient, locking up the scoreboard. So double contact call on the setting hands of Canada. So 9 all, absolutely nothing. This is getting an engrossing start to this match. Men's semi-final number 2 on the FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour. US getting the last couple of points. So locked up now, 9 apiece. And then a sweet swing, Ben Saxton, hello.
He really enjoyed that one. He had a nice pass, gave himself plenty of time. Perfect set from his partner. He has a couple of looks at the other side of the net, but he goes, you know what, I'm just going to go for it off the side of my body. Ends up facing out to the ocean. So that's a really nice turn and hit.
Yeah, interesting footwork. He was kind of faking. Oh, well, right back at you. We saw the Canadian Ben Saxton do that earlier in the set.
That's really interesting for men's volleyball. I haven't seen that very much at all. That's 2 set over the nets on the second play. But why not? Like I said, you know, why make this game any harder? If you can do that, if there's an open space, just put it there, but make sure it drops, because if it doesn't, it's a little embarrassing.
Egg on face. It looks so simple. So 10-all. Someone's going to go to the technical timeout with the lead, and it's the USA 11-10. We're honoured to be joined on the sand. 5 times world champion Randy Stoke. Randy, you're down there. How are you seeing the start of this match?
Well, first of all, guys, you got a couple things a little bit mixed up. Ben Saxton is the big blocker. Oh, and obviously O'Gorman is the defensive player. But it's so odd to see the Americans, the way they are, the way they started off. It's really like they're slow movement, but their ball control is just perfect. Passing the ball to the net, having simple ball control, easy sets, and they're attacking the ball very, very well. We're going to, again, have another dogfight. It's very, very hot out here. I've seen even the Canadian team come down here with ice packs on their backs, trying to cool down a bit. They're feeling it.
Yeah, it is certainly difficult conditions, to say the very, very least.
Well, thank you for that correction too, Randy. We had our statistics wrong.
Yeah, don't argue with a big man. He's spot on as always. So
yes, thank you for that, and terrible apologies to the boys and their fans back home in Canada if we got them mixed up. They're both so good.
They are. We'll no doubt hear about it. Don't worry about that. 11-10. The USA leading this much, I know for sure.
All right, let's see if the USA can widen their lead, or if Canada can hold on to this first set.
Grant O'Gorman there, a little bit extravagant with the swing. So another one, 12-10. So the US just finding a groove right now. This is their number 2, Miles Evans. Going back to the service line, just really working Saxton over on this occasion. He dropped it beautifully. That was probably better than Miles Evans thought. He had it right in front of him. It didn't really make a play on the ball, so that was pretty simple for the team from Canada. The ball's there, and he's rolled it down. You want to see a bit more of an effort. I think Miles Evans, looking back on that play later, won't be pleased with his effort. So the team from Canada having a go at a big jump serve. We heard Randy talk about it being a dogfight, and it absolutely is, point for point at the moment. USA out to a 13-11 lead, and they do seem to be very much in energy conservation mode, Kerry. No one wanting to do anything too big, too extravagant, as I've said. Is it become a mental battle when it's hot and difficult like this?
Absolutely, mentally and physically and emotionally tough in the heat. You have to keep telling yourself, just keep going, just keep going. It's just a 3 or 4 second rally. You want to finish it off as quickly as you can. Nice little play there for O'Gorman, just popping it over the block. But as we saw earlier, he can most definitely smash that ball down to the ground. So he's using all of his tricks right now in his toolbox. But I tell you what, when the heat really is on towards the end of the set, they'll go back to what they really love and what they're used to and what they're best at. Well, they certainly should. Saxton is pretty damn good at blocking right now. Couldn't get that one, but he's really making it hard for us, for the US.
He certainly is. There's not a lot of free balls, not a lot of heavy-driven balls bounce down into the sand. It's a lot of chipped away balls or balls off blocks, and this might be a long and arduous battle. Of course, it is a semi-final number 2, so at stake for the winner through to the gold medal match. A guaranteed medal for the winner of this. We don't know if it'll be gold or silver. The loser will head on off to the bronze medal match and finish either 3rd or 4th, depending on that match. And of course, a point that should be made, Kerry, very difficult conditions. If there's one thing that can be said in favour of the Australians who lost the first semi-final, at least they get a longer break. If this match goes a long time in difficult conditions, surely an advantage in the bronze medal match for the team that's had the longer break.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Aussies are probably somewhere in a cool room watching this, perhaps in their hotel room.
Steam coming out of their ears the last time I saw them. But anyway, to matters at hand, 15-13 USA. William Kalinske and Miles Evans doing a nice job. This is a beautiful rainbow high rolling shot deep over the head of the gentleman, Grant O'Gorman from Canada. So that's a nice play. William Kalinske back to the service.
So all of 4 players on the court today in this match are using all of their different skills. They're hitting hard, they're hitting off blocks, they're dropping it to the left. They're doing line shots. They're faking one way, hitting the other way. So really great variety. And in that sense, also perhaps saving a little bit of energy, knowing that they've got another set and a little bit to go, or maybe even 3.
And then a really kind of misfire there from Kalinske from the USA. Didn't really make an attack on that play. We've seen him do that once or twice. He kind of, I don't know if he loses his way or just really insipid sort of shot. He won't be proud of that one, not really making a play on the ball. So Canada, though, wow, just they look like tired men. The conditions really absolutely taking their toll. Again, we saw the Canadians, Kerry, play a really long game yesterday. I think it went to like about 36-34 or something, their first set yesterday in one of their matches. They had an epic game against
3 sets against Slovenia, and their first set was 36-34, and their next set was 19-21, so they really battled that one out. But they did make it through, and then they had France, another 3-setter in their quarterfinal that they won 15-13. So the Canadians are definitely winning the battles.
Yeah, but at what price for the war? So 16 all. They are back in this set, though. It must be set out of bounds, unfortunately, for Ben Saxton, missing with his jump serve. So 17-16, folks. We go to 21 points. The first team to get to 21 with a 2-point margin will win the first set. Hard to see a clear favourite at this stage.
Well, we saw it open, but he missed it. He went for it, he missed it. So, unfortunate point there, but great for the USA. They've got a mini lead now. We're only going to 21, so 3 more rallies is all they need to win. It was a great pass. Pretty good set. Just couldn't keep that ball in. Not enough topspin.
Yeah, O'Gorman there won't be happy with himself. So an 18-16 lead. The US had a good time. Just open the door, maybe. Needs a good response from Canada. A hard-driven response from Canada, and they get it through O'Gorman. So he's put it down for 17-18. Walking around the poles, the Canadians, the US taking a more direct route.
Of course, the players are always changing ends every 7 points just to make sure that they have a fair advantage or disadvantage with the sun, the wind. There's a lot of sun, not a lot of wind right now.
Oh, it's a perfect shot. That is really lovely beach volleyball vision. Kalinske and Evans, the team from the USA in the blue singlets, just controlling the play. The back set was lovely, and then opening up the Canadian defence. That cross-court shot, unstoppable, 19-17. So Canada must win this point. It's an important moment. Does well. Grant O'Gorman doesn't want to bring up that 20th point on the opposition's scoreboard, 18-19. For the Olympian Ben Saxton, he's plenty of experience, the most experienced of the 4 athletes out there. He needs to go back to the service line and find a way with this serve. He would love 19 all. He would hate 2018 against him.
The pressure, good serve. Is an opportunity for Canada.
Oh, but the US keeping the ball close and low and under control. 2018 now, so the US 2 set points. William Kalinske, Miles Evans. Interestingly calling a timeout with 2 set points on the board.
They want to sit down, have a rest, so they're nice and fresh to pass and set.
So Randy Stoke lost timeout on set point. That's an interesting call.
Sure is a very interesting call, but probably a really smart call. You know, these guys are like flying under the radar. It really seems like that they are just slowing down the game. Ball control's in the name of their game, and ultimately they're putting a lot of pressure on the Canadian team. But ultimately they have to come out right now and make something happen. It's do or die.
Well, the man in the know down there on the sand, Stokey. How great to have him here. 5 World Championships. Knows what it takes to win. So 2018, so Team USA, maybe their Hall of Famer down there on the sand is helping William Kalinske and Miles Evans. They have 2 set points. They've called the timeout. Let's hope it's not a sign of some discomfort or an injury. They're perhaps just maximising this moment, getting their thoughts, their game together. They will come out in this first set, semi-final number 2 in the men. William Kalinske, Miles Evans up against Ben Saxton and Grant O'Gorman. The number 1 for the USA is Kalinske. Evans is wearing the 2. It will be Kalinske going back to the service line. Northern end, set point number 1, USA. Here we go.
Ooh, he took that, almost looked like it was out, and he gets blocked. So the USA, they take it.
21-18, there you go. Great timeout called. When we come back after the break, the USA will try and win this match into semi-final number 2 here in Manly.
Sydney, surrounded by pristine national parks, riverways, stunning water views, iconic beaches, and coastal walks from the north to the south, all with the beautiful harbour at its heart. You'll love every second of Sydney. Discover more at sydney.com.
Welcome back to Manly Beach, ladies and gentlemen. The FIVB World Tour of Beach Volleyball Men's semi-final number 2. Hot and oppressive conditions, it must be said. The team from the United States, William Kalinske and Miles Evans, have taken out the first set 21-18 against Ben Saxton and Grant O'Gorman from Canada in difficult conditions. Joining me in commentary here in the booth, Kerry Pothast. Kerry, it is a nice day to be commentating beach volleyball inside.
It certainly is, but these guys are enjoying it. They know these conditions. They've played these conditions in the States, in Canada, you know, perhaps in Europe. It does get extremely hot at times. It could be raining and freezing cold, so they're used to all sorts, and they've got games to match. And right now, O'Gorman from Canada, he's blasting everything he can get. He made a shot earlier in the first set that didn't hit the sand in the right place, and now since then he's just been blasting everything, and that is his strength off the block.
Yeah, it's a nice play. So we're underway. The US in the blue and left of screen, Canada in the red. They dropped the first set, so Canada must win set of beach volleyball, but we saw that a few times. William Kalinske, the blocker, the number 1 for the US, such a versatile player, and seems really untroubled and unhurried. He's laconic would be the word I would use, just gets the arms up. He's done a nice job, got a couple of crucial blocks in that first set and gets one in the second. So 1 point apiece here in Manly. Crowd enjoying their afternoon here on the World Tour of Beach Volleyball. As Kerry has said, they play under all sorts of conditions. You've played in some cold and rainy places and some hot places over the years, Kerry, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's some pretty interesting weather conditions. Norway is often quite cold. Very light in the summer. Barely gets dark, but can be quite cold. But today is not one of those days.
Nice pick up by O'Gorman. Can he get a connection from his partner? Here's the opportunity. That high roll shot, though, well handled by Evans. He'll get a chance. No, can't get it done down the line. Kalinske on the block, perhaps. Yeah, gets a nice touch. Canada still scrambling hard. Boy, this is going to suck a lot of petrol out of the tank for both teams. Can they execute on this opportunity? The US, no, uncharacteristically. Ben Saxton, the Olympian, steps up, maybe for his first block in recent memory anyway, Kerry. They are absolutely juiced, these guys, now.
Yeah, that was a really timely block for Saxton. They need something. Canada needs something to pump them up again. They're down the first set. They worked so hard in the first set, as did the Americans. The Canadians need to win this set to stay in the match.
O'Gorman defending the backcourt well, but then letting himself down, dropping his elbow low and really not technically executing that skill. It looked the move of a tired man.
Right now, O'Gorman's shots are not really paying off for him, whereas when he's aggressive and he's really swinging on the ball, he's getting a lot more points, so that might tell him something. Well, but that time he made a play.
Yeah, well.
Kalinske's all over him.
Clever play. He must rep Miles Evans there. He noticed, he saw that O'Gorman was pretty tired after the last play. He's gone straight back at him with the serve, and that shows really good match awareness and really good courtcraft from the American. So I just saw a guy hit a pretty tired shot. I'm going to pump him again, see if he's any better, and he certainly was not. A nice block from his partner, though, helped out. Ball called in, so I think that is success, so the Canadians will come down. Was it just waiting on the call? No, ball called out, so we'll be, beg your pardon, USA on a roll. So that's basically 3 skill errors in a row for Grant O'Gorman, so he needs to shake that off really quickly. Miles Evans back to the service line.
Nice play over the top. Easily done there. Ben Saxton using his experience and feeling that the court is open on the left. No need to hit hard that time.
See the Olympian Ben Saxton, his experience is really crucial right now for Canada. They're under the pump here. O'Gorman defensively in a good position. Here's his chance to execute, and that's much better. Just a little bit of extra effort, investing a bit more of your energy in a good jump. He snapped it down beautifully.
At this point, you've just got to tell yourself, work really hard, 3 or 4 seconds, give it all you've got. It'll pay off.
Nice swing. So 5-4, Canada with the lead. Deep serve to the corner, making the legs work. And well read, O'Gorman gets his chance again. Will he put in a big jump? And places it down the line. That is excellent. He likes it. Why not? Ben Saxton likes it.
Smart point from Canada, really serving the ball nice and deep to Kalinske, making him come the whole way in. He didn't have a chance to look, so O'Gorman was pretty much standing there waiting for that shot. That's the point.
This is O'Gorman down on his horn, just see him grabbing the shorts any chance they've got to just try and get a breath in. The US combination just cleaning some sunglasses, so the Canada boys probably don't mind that. So O'Gorman now serving northern end of Manly Beach, another deep serve, trying to get the American on his heels. And a nice delayed shot, but out again off the knuckles. So again, just teams going in and out of kind of concentration almost, Kerry. That's a skill error again, based out of tiredness.
Looks it, he's moving very slowly now, Kalinske. He's doing a great job at the net, blocking. They're also working him very hard now, making him pass from the baseline and hustle to get in there and hit a winner. Here it is again. Good pass. His partner goes for it. Gorman with a chance. Makes a good fast shot play to the line. Having a look, seeing what the reaction is on the other side. Sometimes that's part of the game. If somebody looks frustrated, that's the first person that I'm going to serve at next.
Absolutely. There is the replay. You see O'Gorman doing a defensive job, rolling it down the line. No problem at all. So 8-4, Canada have forced the USA in a timeout down there on the sand, Randy. The conditions not getting any easier, mate.
No, they're not getting any easier, but this is the Americans' first year playing together, their fourth event playing together. And ultimately, what's happening right now, they're kind of like scary good. They've been calm, they've been in control, but I think Canada now has figured out to try to play the same type of game plan by serving that ball back deeper, slowing the game down, and obviously trying to go and pick up some of their shots, and the Americans have missed a couple of them. To have the Canadians get back into this game, and obviously a must-win game for them.
Well spotted, Randy Stoklos, our man on the sand, doing a great job. Being impartial as always, Kez. He's a proud American and he's got every right to be, but doing a wonderful job. An honorary Australian. Can we claim him yet? I'm not sure how that works.
He loves it down here. We love having him just impart his knowledge. He's been around this game for, 30 years now. He was very much part of the game when it was at its hottest and its peak in the US, and they were playing for $1 million prize money purses. Yeah. Certainly took home his fair share of that.
First man to get to $1 million in prize money on the AVP Tour, 5 World Championships. And really for Randy, he was one of the guys that really championed the FIVB World Tour of beach volleyball, and turning the match or the sport into an international affair. Was very Brazilian and USA centric for a long time, and Australia obviously caught on. But now we've got teams from Latvia and Austria all over the world, and that's probably one of the great legacies for Randy Stoklos, is how he opened the world's eyes to this beautiful, beautiful game. So back here on the court,
We should say he's also starred in a couple of movies that have included beach volleyball, including the most famous of that one is Side Out.
Absolutely.
Look it up. Still there somewhere on YouTube.
I don't think it's on Netflix. So nice hustle. Canada 9-5 on the back of a bit of a resurgence. As you heard Randy Stokos say, they've sort of changed their serving pattern up. They're trying to push the USA team deep. And what that's doing, Kerry, he talked about it, is it means they're coming from much deeper in the court to try and get into a spiking position. And when they get there, they're just a bit, you know, not as dynamic perhaps, and it's sort of paying dividends. So you see another deep serve from Ben Saxton. The US hitting from off the net, begging for a touch off the block, but they're not going to get one. I don't think Kalinske and Evans are going to like that call, but Ben Saxton not offering any free advice on whether he got that or not. Let's have a little look at the replay. Hard to tell from that.
Oh, he looks like he did. He kind of pulled his hands in and went, oh, whoops. What? I wonder if he...
Oh, no, it's a bit of a conference. The first and second referee conferring, and there you go.
They've given
Sanity has prevailed. Yeah. I don't see Saxton blowing up too much, so we're going to get a sunglass clean. And when the conditions get hot like this, Kerry, the referees do give a little bit more leniency to the time between points and the chance to clean sunglasses and that sort of thing. So certainly player comfort and safety is a factor that they consider.
Some referees do, some don't. Some are sticklers for the rules, which is a bit annoying. But another nice play from the Americans there to maybe keep themselves in this set.
So you see O'Gorman hitting the line shot, but well read. Miles Evans pounced on it, and then inside out cut shot. That's a nice play. So they probably wanted that one. Evans serving it up. USA leading 1-0, but trailing in the second 7-9. The Olympic veteran Ben Saxton stands up to be counted for his country.
Yeah, that was a purposeful pass from O'Gorman, saying, here, have a hit, I'm getting tired perhaps. Can you make a point for us? So, nice smart play. So this time bringing Kalinske in short, but Evans was ready for that with an easy 2-ball down to the line.
What I've liked about this, Kerry, is the serving pressure from both teams. They haven't really gone for extravagant big serves, but very few service errors. So there is they're playing a lot of balls. No one's going for the big jump serve. It's all about placement and pushing Canada back deep, as Canada were pushing the USA back deep. We heard Randy talk about that in the last break. So, oh, wow. What happened there, Kaz?
Well, look at the shadow. Look at his shadow right now. You can see where the sun is coming straight down on top of him from that direction. So I think he just completely lost the ball in the sun, which is really unusual because they are wearing glasses, but, you know, that happens. Where is it? Where is it?
Utterly confounded by
Absolutely
the sun.
lost
and
it.
The breeze is not blowing that hard that can be blamed, so he won't like seeing that again.
Come on, Grant.
Come on, Grant is the call. And while he does his job, Saxton has to go and retrieve. Here's an opportunity for something special. Here is their opportunity. Wow, Canada have stayed really strong in this point and get it done. Grant O'Gorman, yes, Ben Saxton put it away, but that's all you, young man. That is a wonderful effort, and he acknowledges the crowd. And there's such a knowledgeable crowd, they understood how important that get was.
See where he took the defence from the baseline and he flipped that so fast that Evans had no chance to control it, and it gave easy point there for Saxton to roll down the line. So O'Gorman really playing well. They've got their focus in this set, that's for sure. Another great defensive touch, but he just couldn't do much with it.
Yeah, looked tired at the end. So at the break, technical timeout, it is Canada leading 12-9 over the USA, 1-0. Our man on the sand, Randy Stokos. Randy, how are you finding it down there? I think, gosh, it's so hot down there right now.
Well, not only is it hot, but I've never seen in my 35 years of watching volleyball, beach volleyball, a person miss a ball, a dug ball into the sun like that. He was right on it, couldn't see the ball at all. Needless to say, point goes to Canada. Again, right now, we're seeing this game go back and forth, with some interesting plays. It's not the typical jump set, explosion, quick hitting ball game that you've seen. It's kind of a methodical, under the radar type game, and both teams are kind of figuring it out for themselves. And obviously, Canadians up 12-9, a must-win in the second set for them.
Yeah, I think Randy's nailed it. I reckon that this is such a different game to the one we saw in the first semi-final. It was so much big hitting. This is like a cat and mouse game. They're absolutely playing each other out, working out, trying to work out how to make the next point. There's no big serving, there's no big hitting, it's just placing the ball, having a look. A couple of blocks. There's a couple of hits.
There you go.
After a timeout, maybe.
Comes out and gets a block and then puts away the next one. So USA wanted that one. They needed that. It was good. See Kalinski waiting. His feet are good. Little crow step to the right, and then it's really neat blocking. He kind of almost blocks like a middle blocker the way he has his feet set from an indoor perspective. And then there you go. I'd rather be lucky than good, as my friend Randy Stoklos always says. And who can say otherwise? 11-12, the ball in the net and dropping over for the USA. Back-to-back points. And it's close again. This is Miles Evans. Southern end of the beach. Just trying to conserve every ounce of strength. Better from Grant O'Gorman going deep into the corner. So had their moment there, the USA. They got a couple back. It's interesting, O'Gorman, the only athlete wearing a hat. None of the other athletes wear a hat. Back in my day, you weren't allowed to play if you didn't have a hat on. Obviously, times have changed, but gee, I'd like a hat on a day like tonight.
Wow, that was such a great deep serve from O'Gorman. He just pushed Kalinski right onto the baseline. He was outside of the court almost passing that and then had to come in so far. And that's 8 metres from the back court all the way to the net. Let's see what he's going to do again.
Wow,
again, that time just too far, but great tactic for Canada there.
And it's really that the tactic has really changed in this set. It's all about pushing the opposition back with a float serve as deep as possible. I can't help but think someone's setting up the opposition for the short serve that's just dropped over. You know, we're now in the pattern of deep. I see it's instead going to be Kalinski going for a jump floater instead, so he's kind of changing that up a little bit. So shortish, Canada under a little bit of pressure. Here is Team USA's opportunity to feast. They can't get it done, so Canada through O'Gorman. Can he get it done? Wow, off the throat of Evans. Oh, this is a wonderful point. Asking for a net touch. Oh, this is going to be an inquiry, perhaps. I think the USA were looking for some help from the first referee. Instead, it's Saxton saying, what about the contact under the net? So lots going on. What a pickup off the chest. Here's the collision of interest. Wow, gee, I think he's got a point too. It was the USA player in Miles Evans that really came through. If Canada hadn't won that point, I think there would have been a bit of a blow-up from Ben Saxton. I think he had a right to. Absolutely.
So players are allowed to come under the net, but as soon as it interferes with the other team, it's not their point anymore. A nice double hit, a nice hit on 2, I should say, there from Ben Saxton, and they are widening their gap.
Yeah, that shows experience 101 from this Olympian. Ben Saxton just saying, look, here's an easy point or easy opportunity to win this point. Let's get it done. Every point just seeming to take so much out of the athletes. All 4 of them looking at different times. Not quite distressed, but really fatigued, and then little errors like that creep in. So 13-16. USA won the first set. It was a engrossing affair, but now Canada have the ascendancy in the second. This is Miles Evans from the USA. But again, back-to-back service errors, and that speaks to an athlete with a warm brain and not much thought going on. Just banging the ball into the net. O'Gorman, what can he do? He can get it in. That's a good start. Gorman's D is great. Oh, but that is outstanding. Miles Evans. Well, we've seen it all. There's been a little something for everyone in this set. When they set the ball over the net, Kerry, a deliberate set of the ball across the net has to be in a direct line of their shoulders. So the referee will watch this and make sure that he set it in the direction he's facing. And that was all okay. So again, just Saxton asking the question, but I think that was an okay play.
Both players now getting some attention to their sunglasses, taking a few deep breaths. Important part of the game now for the USA. If they can get a couple of points back here, they might have a look in for this second set. But right now, Canada have the advantage.
Kalinski serves for Team USA and a ball into the net. So Ben Saxton, uncharacteristic and not his best play. He wasn't happy with himself. So 15-17. The USA though, don't look too perturbed. You know, they are hypothetically 6 good plays away from winning the match. So, you know, as they get closer.
Kalinski looks absolutely exhausted. He really does. He has to now run to the net. He's looking for a block. Wants to get it short.
Hey, Grant!
Gorman left it as late as possible to make that decision. Ultimately successful. So 18-15. No one in a hurry to get back and serve. No one in a hurry to do anything at the moment. You see Ben Saxton trying to fake him out with the second ball play. Just out with the serve. So USA near enough if they're good enough. They are getting closer to 21, but the opposition are in front. Of course, Canada must win this set to extend the match to a third set. If USA win this set, it is over. Semi-final number 2. O'Gorman crushes one. That's a nice play.
That was interesting because both Kalinski was doing an angle block, a cross block, and Evans was on the angle. He's still got a hand to it too. So, great play by Canada.
He spiked the ball pretty well, O'Gorman, in this match. He looks like the one most likely to jump up and swat the ball down. So 19-16. 17-19 on another service error. So, you know, just when they work hard, they just hand it back with fairly loose serve. William Kalinski wanders over. Bit of a yarn. How you going? How hot is your country? Thanks for the glasses clean.
I think they're being spoken to about the time wasting, but right now all the players are really working pretty hard. For me right now, Canada look a little bit fresher. O'Gorman's getting worked on the right side. O'Gorman with the hat from Canada, but he's looking a little fresher than the Americans. Americans can kind of hang on. Might be able to take it still, but Canada right now like they've got the advantage. So one more point for them, a side out. They'll have a set point, and then they'll have to play another set.
All right, here's the opportunity for Canada to bring up that important set point. It's a really crafty play. O'Gorman's been really good in the second part of this match. He's been, as you say, Kerry Pottas, getting a lot of the ball, a lot of the focus, and he's done pretty well. So 2017, Canada have eked their way to a set point situation. This is for a chance to stretch this semi-final to a third set. That ball touched on the way through. So 1 set point saved by Team USA. 18-20 now, I think the score, just confirming that. But either way, it is still set point for Canada. A clean hit here, and we're going to 3.
Oh, just missed that on the side. And he calls a timeout. So Ben Saxton goes for that ball, misses it, calls a timeout now because all they need is that one side out. They need to just regroup, put a bit of fuel in those legs and come back out and win that set.
Let's go down to the sand. Randy, how are you seeing this match unfolding, mate?
Hey, Jonathan, I'm seeing it like a backgammon game. You don't know what move's going to be played next. It's been a very interesting game, and a game really teeter-tottering back and forth. Needless to say, Canada has the opportunity to go and finish off this set with a reception and a good offensive push on this next point. But don't count out the Americans. They seem like they're scientists out there. They're just slowing the ball game down, moving the ball down, and you don't know what's going to happen. So let's see what is going to happen moving forward.
Absolutely. Randy Stoklos down there in the sand. Stay frosty, Randy. Don't you melt down, my friend. It is super hot out there. You can see the athletes really toweling down. Team in blue, William Kalinski, Miles Evans, Ben Saxton, and Grant O'Gorman in the red from Canada. So a classic USA-Canada matchup. A North American classic currently on centre court at the moment. It is 19-20. USA has the ball, but Canada still has 1 set point to play with. Here we go. Can we get a third set on the back of this next play? O'Gorman has been solid all set, and it seems appropriate, Kerry, that he brings up 21-19. So there you have it, folks. USA 1 set, Canada 1 set. We are going to go to 3 sets, and when we return from the break, men's semi-final number 2 will be determined.
Sydney, surrounded by pristine national parks, riverways, stunning water views, iconic beaches, and coastal walks from the north to the south. all with the beautiful harbour at its heart. You'll love every second of Sydney. Discover more at sydney.com.
Welcome back to Manly Beach and men's semi-final number 2 in the FIVB World Tour of Beach Volleyball. The crowd building up nicely here at Manly Beach. It is a tense and gripping match. The USA v Canada. One set apiece. We're about to get underway in the third set. I'm joined in commentary by Kerry Potters. Kerry, this has been an absolute battle of attrition. I'm not sure which way this game's going to go. Whoever wins this match has earned it.
Absolutely. All 4 players are playing for their lives right now, or at least for a gold medal. They're not playing the gold medal match, but they're playing for a spot in the gold medal match. And I think, for me, Canada look a little bit fresher, but then the Americans, they have some tactics. I think they're smart at conserving their energy and playing little bits and pieces and just doing the right plays at the right time. Kalinski, he's the... How can we differentiate him? He's on the left side of the court. He's getting most of the ball. He's working pretty hard, but he's conserving well and doing some good plays. Gorman right there. Gorman, he's great on side out. That's Kalinski there. He's going back behind now, making a play. Gorman's all over it.
Oh.
And then their partners are finishing it off for them. So both of them working really hard. Maybe it's Kalinski versus O'Gorman third set.
We will see. Saxton, the one crushing that ball for the win of the ball from, as you say, William Kalinski. Well handled by O'Gorman. He put it on a platter, and the USA boys were cranky with themselves. So 2-0, a really good start. I know it's only 2 points, but 2 points is all you need to win by. Folks, we go to 15 in the third set. The athletes will change ends every 5 points served. So, you know, Randy Stokos, 5-time world champion, described it as a game of backgammon at the moment. It's just piece by piece, move by move. Hard to see who's going to get the advantage. Kalinski going at O'Gorman as they've done all match. O'Gorman, though, has been really good. He's been nerveless. Very few errors, and he's a real guy. He seems to really feed off the crowd. He's looking to people in the crowd. He's looking to get pumped up.
Yeah, he's got a lot of energy in him, not physically, but emotional energy right now, and that's going to serve him a little bit better. I think emotionally you have to stay up, even though physically you may be feeling pretty tired or frustrated.
Yes, Ben Saxton, I think, deciding not to chase that ball down. We're going to side change at 2-3. Team USA going to come to the left of screen as you look at court now in the blue. Canada with a 1-point lead, but it is going to be the number 2, Miles Evans. Ball in his hand, going back, a chance to do something for his nation. O'Gorman has been pedestrian at best to get back into position all game, but he's played well enough to get away with it. So the referee been patient with the lads. It's very hot out there, as we said. Saxton will hit a 2-ball, but well handled. The USA have earned a choice or an opportunity. Can't commit, can't connect. Miles Evans saw the court wide open, Kez, but he couldn't land it.
It's great work from Saxton there, taking the pass. He hasn't seen a lot of serve reception, but he's up there with the hit. And this was unlucky for the US, lucky for Canada. They weren't there, but they'll take it. Anything. They'll take anything right now.
Absolutely. 4-2 Canada for USA 2. Grant O'Gorman plays some nice defence. Can he turn it into a point? Oh, but the overset, I think a net touch, though, is ultimately going to decide this. I reckon they were both in there, but I think the referee's decision was the Canadian athlete was in the net first, is what I think we might see. So the roll shot well handled. O'Gorman will get up, and it's his action. Oh, okay, it's been been decided that he touched the top of the net. A little bit of a conversation through the net between the lads, which I'm sure was just all very charming. So 3-4, USA down by 1, but with the serve. This very slow, this laborious process of cleaning glasses.
The best way of doing it is going to the first referee, because they can't say anything because they're standing right there.
Yeah, you've got to think they're starting to take the mickey, though. O'Gorman went over after the first point of the third set to clean his glasses. They played one set of point of volleyball, and he needs to clean his sunnies. I think that's starting to take some liberal measures with the rules. The crowd, though, not too concerned. So O'Gorman, it is on serve receive. Where's he going to go? He has a look and drops an absolutely inch-perfect drop shot, Keys.
That was a great play from O'Gorman. Again, he had to receive from the baseline, almost outside of the baseline, and come in. Fast footwork by these big guys. You know, they don't look that tall, but they're all over 6 foot tall. 190 plus.
Nice ball from William Kalinski, hard-driven cross-court, so 4-5 again. Only playing to 15, it's going to come up really quickly, so any error, any misstep or mistake by an athlete, it seems magnified in a third set, particularly in the semi-final on the World Tour. Little errors like that.
Yeah, I think he's looking for the ace through the middle. It was a good play, but just a little bit too much. I think Evans needs to step it up a little bit to help his partner out. Kalinski's doing a lot of work, taking most of the serves. If Evans can get a few aces or tough serves, that's really going to help their team. But right now, Canada have just that 1 point advantage. Well, 2 points, but 1 point if the USA are able to side out here.
So 6-4 now, Canada with the ball. Grant O'Gorman, he's been very good, it must be said. Not a battle of the tortoise and the hare, it's the tortoise and the tortoise, I think. Very slow moving now, the athletes really looking juiced.
Did you say the tortoise and the tallest, perhaps,
well,
as well?
So.
Kalinski and O'Gorman battling it out inside out.
Absolutely, Kalinski going back now. Puts a point on the board for his combination. 5-6 now, the score. Crowd just sitting on the edge of their seats waiting for something to happen. It's going to be Ben Saxton, the experienced number 2 for Canada, so that's better. 7-5. Absolutely economy of movement, whether it's during the point or the emotions or the noise they're making. They don't want to waste one iota of energy. This is Saxton going back 7-5. Miles Evans now 6-7. Kind of a weird hush over the stadium. No one's sure who to cheer for or what's going to happen. This has been an epic match. It's been going for nigh on an hour now, I think. Oh, and O'Gorman tags a line.
That was such a good point from O'Gorman because he was so far off the net. He really had to go for something deep, but perhaps Evans should have put an arm out for that, or Kalinski. Kalinski left that not in a great position, so not a good point for
Grant
Canada.
O'Gorman's really put his stamp on this match. Can he be the one to kind of do something? Ball just called in. Miles Evans looking hopefully 7-8, so they'll change ends again. Look at O'Gorman, absolutely covered in sand.
He'll fight to the death, there's no doubt. He's got a lot of oomph left in him.
I can't help but think, Kerry, this match has gone so long. The winner goes and meets a really good French team for the gold medal. The loser goes and faces a really hungry and cranky Australian team for the bronze medal. Those two teams that played more than an hour ago now are sitting back going, you know, one of these two teams we're going to have to play, they're going to be toast. It'll be interesting to see how physically both these teams can bounce back after this match. Here's an opportunity for Team USA on a return of serve. I don't think anyone's touched that ball, so that's a pity for Kalinski and Evans. They had the opportunity, couldn't convert.
Yeah, the good thing will be that by the time they play the bronze and gold medal matches, it will be cooler. It has been nice in the morning, throughout the afternoon. The sun goes down behind the pine trees and the buildings. They'll still have a little bit of sun, but it'll be a lot cooler. And maybe the breeze will start up, so you'll be hoping.
That's a good swing. Miles Evans, not a lot of line to work with, but has crushed that one down the line. 8-9, that was a big moment. They needed to stay in touch with the opposition, so he's done well. He had a little look and thought, I'll take the line on, and executed it beautifully. So it is Miles Evans again, 8-9. Tension is palpable here in the stadium.
Oh, nicely played by Saxton. He didn't have much room to swing through, follow through with his arm. He just pushed that to the side. Nice fast shot. Always going to beat the defender.
Yeah, good footwork, went out wide, trusted his approach. It's going to be O'Gorman 10-8, the first team to double figures, but he can't get a serve into play. 9-10. They're just sort of walking on muscle memory at the moment, Kez. There's not a lot of communication. They're not really talking to each other. It's hard yards. I don't know if they expected Australia to be hot.
I think Kalinski's going to want an ice bath over this, after this.
Straight. They'll be running off straight into the ocean, whatever the
Yeah, that's an ice bath. But Manly right now, it's still pretty cool in the ocean. It's not even summer yet.
Wow. Well, they know it's hot out there. I know that much. O'Gorman gets touched, gets picked up. Can Kalinski? No, he can't. Again, just when the USA earn an opportunity, they kind of let themselves down a little bit with the skill error, the tiredness and the heat. 11 points to 9.
It's almost like you've got to just dial it up when you go to hit this ball. So Kalinski's still going in kind of slowish. Dial it up, get in a good position so you can get a good high, fast arm swing. That's the emotional stress right now from the guys as well. Hanging in there.
Come on.
Well read. O'Gorman's been really busy defensively. Good energy shown when he needs to. Kalinski having to run a mile. That's going to feel like a marathon at this stage of the match, but Canada through Saxton are going to execute it, and that is a crucial time in this match. 12-9, I reckon the USA are probably going to call us in for a break because Canada have opened a 3-point lead, now lead 12-9 in the third set. It is time to go courtside. Randy, is that a crucial blow?
It is a crucial play, but it seems like it's the death march going on out here. But obviously Canada got an opportunity to score a point. Actually, United States had a couple opportunities to score points. Didn't convert. Canada gets the opportunity and makes a great play and obviously puts the game into a really good position for themselves right now. But the game's still not over. We're into obviously the third and final deciding set, which is obviously going to go down to the wire here, and anything could happen.
Yeah, absolutely right. Randy Stokos down there on the sand, living and breathing the action. And it is, look, the big man, we've laughed, not laughed, but, you know, enjoyed William Kalinski's play, but he does look really spent, whereas Grant O'Gorman from Canada has really, I'm going to say he's conserved his energy really well, and still when needed has got fast feet, good arm action. He looks the most likely, Kez.
Yeah, he's been pretty good for almost the entire match. It was the first part of the first set, somewhere in the middle there was 4 or 5 points. He was missing his shots, he was getting blocked, but he's definitely been the most consistent. There he goes again. And his partner finishes it off. So Saxton there, patrolling the net, making sure nothing comes back over. And if it does, he gives his partner a great set. So O'Gorman really enjoying the Aussies now. The Aussies perhaps getting behind the Canadians a little bit more.
Maybe so, maybe so. And that perhaps is a fatal blow for Team USA. That's a 4-point lead in a match that's gone point for point. It's going to be really hard to see how William Kalinski and Miles Evans can turn this around. Ben Saxton serves for Canada with a handy 13-9 scoreboard. A block here would be really nice. Oh, but it's another error, and that is absolutely a near-death experience for the USA, because at 14-9 and 1 set to love, Canada with 5 match points look to be a moment away from booking a spot in the gold medal match. And it is done and dusted. Ben Saxton, Grant O'Gorman have been immense. Congratulations, William Kalinski and Miles Evans, on a really tough match. They will go to the bronze medal, but Kez, Canada, too good when it counted, and they are off to the gold medal game.
Absolutely well deserved. Both teams really fought hard all the way through that match in trying conditions. The crowd loved it, you can see. And as I said, it's not even summer yet, but it's heating up right here at Manly Beach Volley Fest, FIVB World Tour event. That was the men's second semi-final. We've got 2 into the gold medal match. We've got a couple of very tired teams going into the bronze medal match first. So Australia will play the US in the bronze, and we'll have France against Canada for the gold medal.
Yeah, interesting matchups. So the FIVB World Tour of Beach Volleyball men's semi-final number 2 has been completed, as my co-commentator Kerry Possast has so rightly said. It is going to be tough to see how either of those teams can bounce back. For Canada, they've spent all of their money. I reckon they've got no petrol left, but now they've got to get up for a gold medal game. For the USA, who tried really valiantly, they have got to face the disappointment and then get back to play well for the bronze. I'm sure national pride will come in. So again, to confirm those results, the bronze medal match will be Australia versus the USA. The gold medal match will be Canada versus France. So really interesting matchups here on centre court. This is, of course, the FIVB World Tour of Beach Volleyball here at Manly Beach. Difficult conditions, but it's been a wonderful couple of semi-finals, and hopefully they're saving the best to last. We're going to go down to Mr. Steve Hart on the sideline, who's got some of the athletes with him now.
Yeah, look, some very happy Canadians with me. Obviously very tough conditions out there, boys, but you did it. You're into the gold medal match.
Yeah, it's hot out here. Like, I don't know, it's just like Toronto, I feel, isn't it? Just like Canada.
Unbelievable. The fans, it was very tense in that last set. How did you feel out there?
Yeah, we were just trying to gut it out. That win was big. I felt pretty relaxed. I was just trying to stay chill, and I did, and they broke before we did, so that's all that matters.
You're going to be playing the French, who, of course, knocked out the local favourites, the Australians. Did you watch that match, and what are you expecting?
We haven't watched their match. We've trained with them. We've played against them, so we know what to expect, and we'll come up with a solid game plan and come back here and beat them down.
All right, good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Well, you heard it, folks. Manly Beach, the Toronto of the Southern Hemisphere, according to Grant O'Gorman. Good on them. They are cock-a-hoop, and they should be after a great win. Fabulous scenes here. We're going to take a break and come back to Manly Beach after this.
Sydney, surrounded by pristine national parks, riverways, stunning water views, iconic beaches, and coastal walks from the north to the south, all with the beautiful harbour at its heart. You'll love every second of Sydney. Discover more at sydney.com.